Welcome back to TeshKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Lunc, whose current price stands at the $0.00022412 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 0.007%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart pattern that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Lunc, from these low prices that we had been trading within, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, which has been obeying this Elliot wave structure, having a wave 5 taking us back to around the $0.00059 mark. And having seen that movement to the upper side, obeying that Elliot wave structure to the upper side, I can now name that Elliot wave structure to the upper side as a higher Elliot wave count 1. And having seen the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1, whatever we expect next on this other side is the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2. And I believe we have seen that movement to the lower side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2, seeing our low for that second wave at around the $0.00018 mark. And after making that low, we have seen a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that I'm terming as a higher Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side. And because that third wave to the upper side is an impulsive wave, I also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that third wave to the upper side, and I believe that is what we are seeing over here in these structures that we have right here. And if I draw my Elliot waves count here on this chart, we can have this as the first wave to the upper side. Then whatever we are seeing over here is a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2. Then I'm expecting a wave 3, then a wave 4, and then a wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1, which is a fractal wave within that higher Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this fractal wave over here, so that it can give us the key scenarios that we expect to play out. After making our high for that first wave, we saw a very nice retracement over here in the formation of a second wave, and using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that first wave to the high of that wave 1, that gives me a minimum retracement area to the lower side in the formation of that second wave between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.618, and I can mark that target area here on the charts like that. Then removing the Fibonacci's, you can see that Lunc has retraced into this target area, and at some point we managed to break out of the target area to the lower side. We even lost a key area of support at around the $0.000024 mark, and after losing that key area of support, we are making some new lows down here. And whatever, after making the low for that second wave, I'm expecting a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a third wave. And using the trend based Fibonacci, we can sketch out a target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 by connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the low of that first wave to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of that second wave, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3 at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.00053 mark. And after making the high for that wave 3, I will expect the formation of a wave 4 before we continue pushing higher in the formation of a wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And since we managed to break out of this target area that we had here in the formation of a second wave, that means there are high chances of invalidating this formation of that movement to the upper side in the formation of a third wave. And in case we invalidate that movement to the upper side in the formation of this third wave, I will take this movement right here as a higher Elliot wave count 2, and because a wave 2 is a corrective wave, I'll term this as a massive ABC corrective movement, having this as the wave A, then a wave B, and in case we make a new low down here, then that will be my wave C. And in case that plays out, I'll term that as a higher Elliot wave count 2 before we start sketching out a movement to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side and have new target areas to the upper side. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I hope we don't make a new low over here, invalidating this movement to the upper side in the formation of this third wave to the upper side. And getting to the key chart patterns that we have information right here, the first chart pattern that we have information is a triangle, which I have highlighted here in red, and you can see we have this trend line over here, then we have this horizontal line acting as the baseline of that triangle, and we have seen a breakout to the lower side of the triangle over here in this movement right here. And this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the target area of that breakout as the height of the triangle. So using a trend line, we can get that height and then place it down here to give us a minimum target area to the lower side, back to around the $0.00016 mark. So in case we continue pushing lower, there's a possibility of that movement taking us back to around the $0.00016 mark. And in case that plays out, then here on the chart we'll be having a new low, and that will make me term this movement to the lower side in the formation of that as a higher Elliot wave count 2. Then we can start sketching out a movement to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3. Also here we have another key chart pattern that is in formation, which is a channel, and if I draw it out, we can have this as the lower side of the channel, then we have seen the upper side of the channel. Then you can see that Lunc has continued to respect this channel, giving us more than 3 touch points and not cutting into candlesticks. And right now we are trading within a key support zone, which is at around the $0.00024 mark, and there are high chances that in case Lunc finds support within this support zone, there are high chances that it might be able to give us a bit of a bounce to the upper side, manage to continue trading within the channel to the upper side, and maybe manage to break out of the channel to the upper side. And in case that happens, I would expect a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of that third wave to the upper side. And in case we lose the volume for us to continue pushing higher and we continue breaking down and maybe break out of the channel to the lower side, have a successive retest of that key area that is the lower side of the channel, there's a possibility of us continuing to push even lower, and that still be part of the breakout out of that chart pattern that I have drawn out over here, which is a triangle. And remember, our target area is back to around the $0.00016 mark. So in case that plays out, then the worst case scenario for Lunc could still be playing out here on this chart, also giving you a target area to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 3, assuming the low was in at around the $0.00018 mark. There's a possibility of Lunc continuing to push higher back to the fib level 1.618, and if I draw it out, we can have the trend based Fibonacci connecting it from the low of that wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of that wave 2, and that gives me a minimum target area back to the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.001 mark. And in case that plays out, then Lunc could be losing 1-0. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. Also taking a look at the indicators here on the RSI, we are trading at around the 43 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movement to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3. Also here on the MACD, we have printed a bullish cross, and that means higher prices are coming our way. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.